Hey everybody, welcome back to World Drum Club. I'm Kalani, your host, and in this lesson I'll be talking about and demonstrating ways you guys can develop your sense of rhythm. I've talked about this a little bit before, but it's so important. It doesn't matter if you're a drummer or any other type of musician or a vocalist, it makes no difference. We all need to develop our sense of timing. And I'm speaking as somebody who has had to work on his timing. I'm not just one of those people who naturally had great time. I'm sure you know people that are just naturally gifted in that area. They have a great sense of rhythm. Whatever they play seems to just fall right in the pocket. The pocket meaning right in the groove, right in the time. I'm not one of those people. I've had to work really hard, and I still have to work hard to maintain my feel for the rhythm, and so I can play on time, in time, with time, and make the music feel good, hopefully, because that's the next level after you get the basic timing. You want to get the micro timing, which is the feel. We'll get to that in another video, but for this lesson, I want to give you guys some ways you can improve your rhythm, no matter what instrument you're playing. So this applies to all of you. So let's just take a dance tempo right now. We'll take 120 beats a minute. So this is a pretty fast click. So get a metronome out, or you can do this to some music. It doesn't have to be a metronome, but some steady beat. And the first thing you want to do is just align with that beat. So you can do anything like I'm doing here, just conducting. It doesn't have to be formalized. Just any way you can align with the beat without making sound. And then add a sound. Anything, clapping, snapping, patting. You can vocalize, say 1E and a 2E and a 1E and a 2E, and anything to make the sound audible. And then you want to check where you are with that. So this is the first level, our bass line, 1E and a 2E and then you're going to start to divide or subdivide the beat. So right now we're doing eighth notes, which would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And that's dividing every beat in half, right? And then the next step could be dividing each beat into 4. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. So I'm saying 1E and a, which is pretty common. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a taka 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 taka. Anything you want, any sound, could be vocal, could be movement. But make sure you can do that. And hang out with this for a while. Hang out just in that zone. Okay, so that's kind of like level 1, and maybe you guys can do that now. Maybe that's a challenge for you. So if that's a challenge for you, stay there for a while. And then I'm going to show you guys where to take it to the next level. So the next thing you're going to want to do is slow it down. So let's go to half that tempo just as a starting place. And so this will be 60. So the reason we're doing this is because now you don't have as many guideposts. You don't have as many grid lines, but you still need to fill that in and land on the beat. So now we're creating a little more space, a little more time where you have to use your inner metronome, your inner musician, your inner pulse to carry yourself from the beat to the next beat or the next guide. So here's our guides are now farther apart. 1 second, exactly. This is 60 beats a minute. So now do the same thing, align with this, and then subdivide it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and as the tempos get slower, usually the movements get bigger. So if you're rushing, which is what most people do, you guys want to get to the next beat sooner, so you end up rushing or cutting off too much time, and you get ahead of the beat. Your playing gets ahead of the pulse. So what you can do to help remedy that is make your movements bigger. because then it's physically just going to take you more time to move. So if you're strumming an instrument, just strum bigger. If you're drumming, drum a little bit bigger for now so that you stay aligned with this pulse. 1 and 2, and then do some counting. 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a dot dee dot dee dot dee dot dee dot dee dot, and then double that. Start to have fun. You can throw in some triplets, which are groups of 3. Jot dee dee dot dee dee jot dee dee dot dee dee dot dee dee jot dee dee dot dee dot dee jot dee dot dee jot da 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 1 2 3 1 2 3. Jot da 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 jigga digga 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 jigga ja dee dee da. Okay, so that's a great thing to do. Just set a metronome, nice and slow. Vocalize. You can, again, use your body percussion. You can take that to your instrument. That would be another place you could practice this. But I really recommend practicing all these things vocally first, even just aligning with the rhythm like we did at the very beginning without making a sound. Because the reason for that is if you start making sounds and they're loud, you could actually cover up the pulse, which is the thing you need to be hearing if you're working on your rhythm. So you don't want to bury the thing that's helping keep you aligned, but you want to align with it. So the first thing is just do it with movement, maybe vocalizing, then go to body percussion, then put it on your instrument later. All right, so the last thing I want to show you guys is a way to make this more extreme. And this is going to really take your practice to the next level. Before we do that, I want to remind you that World Drum Club is a member-driven channel. So even though a lot of these videos are made available, not all of them, but a lot of these videos are made available on the YouTube channel without a membership, the implication is if you're consuming this information, if you get some value out of it, if you like it, if you appreciate it, then the thing to do is to go to patreon.com/Kalani and just sign up and become a member. And that way you can chip in and help bring this information to you and to your colleagues and friends and people around the world who are enjoying it, so we can all keep this happening. All right. So I really appreciate you guys' support. Again, thanks for becoming a World Drum Club patron. Okay, so let's take this concept to a more extreme level. And so now I'm going to turn my metronome down to 35 beats per minute. So that's as low as it goes, or as slow as it goes. It's not quite half of 60, but it's pretty close. So here's where that is. All right, so it's pretty slow click, right? Now I do have on this metronome, I've got a feature where I can hear the subdivisions. So that makes it easier to hear, right? Four and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So this is a challenge now. So the first thing, again, align with it. Maybe do some conducting. See if you can feel that. And the secret, and this is the secret now, you guys, to doing this is to keep that subdivision in your mind, right? In your mind's ear. And you'll find, like I do, that you have to make little adjustments. And this is the fun part. And we're going to play with this. Remember that exercise we did called avoiding the one? If you haven't seen that video, it's also in a video about developing your rhythm. So do that here at a very slow tempo and keep the subdivisions in your mind or in your voice or on your body. Ba 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 bum ba ba da 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 ba 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 dee da da dee 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 Din 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 din. Din 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 din. Bum bop beep 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 beep. Da 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 da. Da dun da da dun dun. Maybe think of a song. Ding 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 ding. Ba bum ba ba. Dee 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 dee. Okay, and play with that. This is going to help you guys so much. You will thank me forever after this. I want to mention a book called The Music Lesson by bassist and author Victor Wooten. There's a little vignette in the book, part of the chapter, towards the middle of the book, where the character is giving a music lesson to this other character in the book. Although he doesn't really know it's a music lesson. It's more of a lesson of life. And I really highly recommend this book. As again, it's called The Music Lesson by Victor Wooten. And in the book, he talks about doing this very kind of thing, but he stretches out the pulse. So it's about not just, this is 35 beats a minute. And I think what he's talking about in the book is getting to the point where you can actually keep track of the pulse, even if it's happening every 1 minute. Like a whole minute goes by. This is 35 beats a minute, so just this, that would be 35 times longer than this in terms of the space in between. And that's a really extreme example. I'm not recommending you guys actually try that. Although you could, it'd be interesting. But the point is the more you can audiate, and that's the word that is kind of key in this whole thing. Audiation means hearing things in your mind. If you watch that movie Amadeus about Mozart, there's some great examples of that in there, where they depicted him hearing, symphonies and things in his mind, and then he would just write it down, and he would compose in his mind. This is kind of like that. This is like hearing the beat in your mind in between these audible signposts, if you will, or markers. And so in that book, The Music Lesson, he talks about being able to do that, over a whole minute, where you have to land right on the beat. And that's a really interesting exercise. So maybe you've got a way to have a click that's even slower than 35 beats a minute. I'm going to leave you guys some of these click examples just for you to practice in case you don't have the metronome. I'll leave you the 60 beats and the 35 beats with and without the subdivisions, and then you guys can try this on your own. But you can use any metronome. If you've got an app, find some beats online, whatever you want to do to practice that. All right, so I hope this helps you guys. I think it will. Let me know, and also let me know if there's anything I can clarify about this lesson. These are the kind of things that we do as musicians and drummers that most people don't think we do. They don't see us do this. It's not something we really talk about that much. But these are the kind of quote unquote boring exercises. I don't think they're boring. I think they're kind of fun. And if you can make those quote boring exercises fun, then you're winning big time, because it'll help you as a musician, it'll help your confidence level. It'll help everything you play sound better. And it just, it's another thing you can do that kind of gets your mind out of the future and the past into the present, which is always a good thing. So thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoy this. As always, I appreciate you being World Drum Club patrons, and I will see you in a future video.